What episode are we on?
8.
Welcome to episode 8 of Tech a Break with Andrew Reid from Resilient Business Systems and
Me, Adam Walker. HubSpoke Media, how are we doing?
absolutely chipper, my friend, for a Friday. Your good self.
Well, I'm a bit distressed this morning. We're being
Distressed.
Distressed, yeah. We're being. Is that right? Have I said it wrong? Distressed? Yeah, no, I'm distressed.
Yeah, no, you are distressed.
Yeah,
You've got
I am.
a beacon.
Well, we've got a storm that goes by what to me sounds like a member of the royal family raging away. What is it? Bibbit.
Bibbit. I thought it was a frog.
Yeah, Bibbit.
Bibbit. Bibbit.
Yeah.
Bibbit.
I've already driven past a car this morning. I hope they're all right. Smashed in roof, remnants of a tree on the floor. I mean, the timing for that. It's obviously one of my biggest fears when driving around the storms.
Absolutely right. It's
yeah,
awful.
That was this morning.
Okay. Whereabouts?
Just on the outskirts of town.
Oh,
Just
dear
as you're
me.
coming in. Yeah.
Hopefully everything all right.
Yeah. So
Hopefully. So how about your week? What has it been like? Busy?
I've been looking forward to this one today.
Have you really?
Yeah, because I was thinking about this morning. I've done my homework. We'll come on to.
Hang on a minute. Walker boy.
Yes, sir.
Have you done your homework, boy?
Yes, sir.
Good man.
Thank you. Whether it's any good or not, you'll be the judge of that.
We'll let Alina mark it later.
So, this week, last week I told you I was going to film in schools.
Yes, how did that go, by the way?
That went amazing. And I filmed in a subsequent school again this week. But this
goodness
week, I have filmed and photographed in the school. This is my third podcast of the week, not of which this is the first one of me talking, but I've done 2 client podcasts. One's via Teams.
Right.
One in person.
Right, yeah.
Taking all the kit. I have recorded a voiceover.
You, Mr. Voiceover Man.
Yes, well, there wasn't many to pick from.
Right, okay. What were you selling? Biscuits?
Darlington Library have their anniversary coming up. And
So have I.
Have you?
It's mine and Michelle's wedding anniversary on the 22nd of October. Sunday coming.
Do you need a voiceover?
Yes. Just
celebrate.
Can you just when we wake up on Sunday morning, like, welcome to Michelle and Andy's wedding anniversary.
What? How many years?
18. And do you know why I know that instantly?
I could be like, year 19. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But you know why I know it's 18, off the bat? Because it's the same year I set up the business and got married. I've only got 1 year to remember.
You are a man of convenience. You are definitely a man of convenience.
How long have you been married? 18 years. How long has Resilient been running? 18 years.
18 years. Yeah. No, you're a man of convenience. You're a clever man.
Makes it easy.
The planet's aligned for you. But yeah, so it was like a re-edit video that I had to do for the library.
Okay.
But using some of the historical photos, which are awesome.
I can imagine. I mean, how
1884, if I remember rightly.
Wow, they must be awesome in comparison, like then and now.
Yeah, insane. And what's the one that I like the best is the cornerstone or the foundation stone,
yes,
which is on the corner of the library that you can see today.
Is that why it's called a cornerstone?
I think so.
Right, okay.
I know.
Just checking.
I'm a scientist. So the great thing about that is the photograph. So you've got kind of wooden scaffolding all around.
Yeah.
And what I learned in my voiceover is they declared a public holiday for Darlington so people could take like half a day off. So everything shut down to go and celebrate the laying of this stone. Yeah. So there's a photograph.
That's incredible.
All the dignitaries are on like the scaffolding. And what's really interesting is all the people on the scaffolding near the stone itself are wearing top hats. Everybody else, the public, so to speak, are wearing bowler hats, obviously, if they're men. They're wearing bowler hats, and they're around the bottom. So what struck me the most is, obviously, top hat means something. But then I'm like, if you're a bowler hat guy, couldn't you just wear a top hat? And, obviously it was a thing of status, I imagine. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this. But, yeah, so the top level, the dignitaries were top hats, and the public level were all bowler hats, not a top hat in sight.
Right, well, there's for everybody out there, there is your task for the weekend. Google the difference and answers on a postcard, please, to Adam Walker, top hat, bowler hat.
.com. Actually, that could be a good website for selling top hats and bowler hats.
Exactly.
So,
well, that must have been incredibly interesting.
It was.
Seeing that snapshot going back to that particular time. And then, obviously, to be fair to you, my friend, I've been asked to do a voiceover.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like, we need a voiceover, Adam. And it was also a last minute. Susie at Library High.
Have you ever seen that one where the Black Adder episode says, I've made a list of contenders. Adam Walker.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah. Well, Alina didn't fancy it. So
are we, Alina? Come on.
I was given a script. And I recorded it. And I then handed Alina a 24-minute long audio file of me trying to read 2 sides of paper.
How many takes?
It was a oneer.
It was a oneer?
But I just kept
going.
Welcome to Darlington. Welcome to Darlington. So Alina had 24 minutes of that.
Welcome to Darlington is not difficult to say.
Yeah, but when you're trying to do your radio voice,
you've got a radio voice.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome to Darlington.
Hey up. Welcome to Darlington.
In Northeast, we've got a thing called library. Got books and everything, you know.
You can read good.
But that's really nice, though, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
So did the voiceover.
Where can I hear this?
23rd of October, it's coming out.
No, I said where.
Online, Facebook. Yeah, okay. Where and when?
Thank you.
Yeah, genius over here.
Where are you going? Next week.
Next week, yeah. Yeah, so it's coming out. It'll be going out on their Facebook and everything else, 23rd of October.
I'm going to listen in and go, I know that guy. I know Mr. Voiceover Man.
Listen to his horrible recording.
Hello.
And then after the school, I was actually back at the library and I was photographing an event, which was awesome, good fun sort of stuff going on. And then yesterday I was photographing and filming food.
My favourite topic.
Food. Yeah. So it's been a good week. What about yours? Enough about mine.
No, it's been really, really, really good. Lots of low-level working this week. Obviously, we know that we've been speaking about automation.
Yeah.
So, again, without getting too boring, but customer changed some printers. And, again, you don't realise in terms of the low level. So, printers, everybody has printers, all networkable.
Yes.
But this particular customer has a printer upstairs, a printer downstairs. Okay? So, how to make sure that each machine sets the correct default printer depending on their location.
Oh.
So scripted it. So I said, your machine is in this particular group. Therefore, I will make this printer the default. No, this machine's in this OU or group. I will set the default printer for you on this. So quite clever. But really, it was 46 machines, and I was not going every one going right-click set default, right-click set default. Yeah. And again, it's an awkward thing because, your first sort of like thought is, well, just get the users to do it. Yeah, but no, obviously Resilient is like, no, we'll sort that for you. Yes, a little bit more overtime in terms of maintenance. You've got to make sure the machine's in the right OU. But no matter where that person goes now, they power the machine on. It just goes, you're on the top floor. This machine right there, there's your default printer. So the customer was quite pleased.
I would imagine so.
Yeah,
I bet it'd be really annoying to go, right, I'm going to print something. It comes out downstairs.
Although it did get their steps up and they did.
I'm sure when I was at the council, I accidentally printed something off in the library, actually. Funnily enough, when I used to work at the council. Like, print. I was like, what? Where is it?
Exactly.
And I looked and it's like library printer. I'm like, I've never seen that before.
I've never seen it. I'm going to go hunting for the library printer.
My,
anyway, Mr. Walker Man,
homework. My homework, right.
Go for it. Can you remember the question?
Yeah, I can, because I actually went back and listened to
I didn't. I can't remember.
End of the podcast again. So last week we used the Rare Book Shop as the example.
That's it, you did. It was Adam's
and you were talking about IT.
Correct, how to set up your business.
Yeah, and then you set me the challenge of, right, how are we going to talk about it? How are we going to present it?
That's correct, I remember now.
You remember now I told you, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For those people just listening, I knew already.
If you're watching on my camera, you can see I've
oh my goodness me.
He didn't turn up with a notepad. I've got a notepad here of people. A notepad like phone notepad.
Yeah, okay, start again.
Phone notepad.
Thank you.
Of notes. Yeah.
B sharp, that's a good note.
I have prepared. No, that's not what
that's a musical gag.
Oh, is it?
B sharp.
Oh, B.
Adam, catch up, man.
If only I knew what a B sharp pitch was, and I could go.
No, let's not go there.
Terrible.
So homework.
Yeah. So
how do we shout about Rare
We've flipped it to Andy's Rare Bookshop.
Yeah.
So we're working on the assumption because last week we talked about you had a website, you had an e-commerce functionality, you had all your data stock, all of that sort of gubbins,
Absolutely.
Wi-Fi networks, all that sort of stuff was done. But then it's like, right, we've set up our stall,
Good.
and you were particularly saying, how do I go about talking about it when I go to a networking event or an event this and the other? So this is the world I live in, okay, in terms of this next sentence. And I can't remember who said it. It was someone, you always take ideas from people and stuff. And someone once said about using cup of tea language.
Cup of tea language.
Does that mean anything to you if I just say?
Well, what I was
language?
going to say was, if it's something clever, it was probably me that said it. But sadly, I don't know.
And it doesn't sound particularly clever from the outset.
No, it doesn't. No, but it sounds as though somebody has taken something and boiled it down to.
Ooh.
See what I did there? You see what I did there?
They've infused it.
Absolutely. They've boiled it down to basics, which is what every part of everybody's business.
So you understand what I'm saying? Cup of tea language, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yep. So it is about boiling down to basics. Because I'm like, if whatever you're talking about is HubSpot Media, we do marketing media, right? And then I can go into all of that. But if I went straight into, well, we use professional cameras, and we use the latest techniques, and we use Adobe Premiere Pro, and we use Adobe Audition, and we use all these microphones. And do you know what a cardioid mic is? Do you know what a condenser mic? Yeah.
Sorry,
exactly. So it's irrelevant. Basically, someone wants me to walk in a room, take some photos, and then use it to promote them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a cup of tea language is pretty much what I've just said there. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It's a simple way of projecting it. So what I always try and do when I'm looking at a business is how do we get what you do into cup of tea language? You, for example, I was actually thinking this morning, I was like, you guys are great. But in terms of not great for me as an example, because actually you've done it.
Yes.
You run your business, we look after your IT. I'm like, that's very cup of tea language.
It is.
Yeah, big tick in the box from me.
Thank you.
So
I'll take credit for that.
Yeah. Did Michelle come up with it?
Shh, quiet.
Right, okay.
I'll pay you later.
So, cup of tea language, basically, it's one thing to say what you're selling, but it's another to say what you're doing, why you do it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like it.
So, and Simon Sinek is the biggest, one of the biggest sort of marketing sort of voices in the world, and he talks about the why and the circle and all this sort of stuff. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And he uses loads of examples. But what you're not saying in your strap line, if we're going to keep the IT company for a second, you're not saying buy our IT.
No, I'm
it's
not
back
saying
to the
that.
sell, buy.
Correct,
thing. Yeah. You're saying no. Our role is we'll look after the IT. So the look is the key word, or look after is the keywords that shows the action that you're taking.
Yeah.
Okay. Because your job is very much action related. There are products, but over product.
100%. Yeah.
So a laptop's a laptop. I get that's a product. But actually, what people are getting you to do is to do things like set this printer up situation and do the action. They need help with the action.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's why I really like yours. So I was wondering about Andy's Rare Books. Are you ready?
Yeah. Go for
so
it.
you now have this bookshop. So I was wondering whether you could go with a simple strapline, so it'd be like Andy's Rare Books. So the good thing is we've got Rare in the title of the shop.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
We've got books, so we know what we're selling.
Yeah.
Okay. But then what about this? So you'd have that, and then underneath your logo, you'd have expertly sourced, simply presented.
Oh my goodness me!
What do you think?
I tell you what, I like that.
So if we just break that down, expertly sourced. So you're saying you're
My
an expert.
experience. Yep.
Absolutely. And you've got knowledge of books and what to go for. Sourced is a key word for me. And you could use found or whatever. But
No. But source to me conjures up. I've taken my time. I've expertly used my experience, and found the book that you're exactly looking for. I've sourced it based upon your exact requirements.
So if I'm buying a book in the supermarket,
yeah.
And by the way, great books offers in the supermarket. I get them all the time personally. But could be playing $4.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love it. Have a great time. However, if I'm looking for a rare book, or a rare book I didn't even know that I wanted, how much would I be paying you for? Let's go with that first. So, would it be paying you $4.99?
No, you would not.
No, you
be
wouldn't.
paying me
You wouldn't.
$4.99.
Yeah. So we've immediately said it's rare. So
Yes.
obviously it's sort of limited into. Sorry, I'm just trying to unlock my phone. It's rare and it's limited. But then what we're also saying is, because it's rare, you've actually spent time, and what people are then paying for, because they might just see that they're just buying a book. They might see that she's just resetting the camera.
Yeah, exactly. I was just pausing.
He's smiling at a camera that's being reset on him while I'm talking.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So the reason why I'm like expertly sourced is because people won't realise, they'll just walk into your shop and see a book. And they'll go, I want to buy that book, right? Yes. What they don't see is the 10 hours or the travel or the networking that you've had to do to then find the book. Do you see what I'm getting at?
100%, because without your experience, my experience of going out and finding the location, who's selling these books, all of that, it's also, I love this because it takes me back to when I was first effectively not mentored, but I was mentored in terms of how to run a business. And the classic example that I was always given is you will go to a garage and say, my car's got a knocking sound or something wrong with it. The guy may take one look and go, I know what it is. He says, right, that's £50, please.
Yeah.
What, £50 for just fixing that screw? You're not paying for the £50. I knew where to look. I recognised what the sound was. I made experienced decisions to determine that's what you're paying for. Not the fact that I just twisted that little screw and tightened it, and that's the same as what you've just said. I've used my skills to source that rare book.
Yeah, and I can relate that directly to what we do as well with the photography. So I'll take 2 cameras to jobs. The food stuff yesterday. So I shot, I think in the end it was like 100 odd edited photos that went to the client. I was shooting photos on one and video on the other. Oh. Now I could make that shoot last twice as long or take twice as many people. Yeah. So we each had a camera. Yeah. But unfortunately, I've sort of developed a way. Now, if I was doing, back when I first started, if we charged by hour, I was only able to do, say, photos to the standard. But I can honestly, hand on heart, it depends what's going on, whether it's a live event, but I can honestly, hand on heart, shoot both photo and video similar time. I might have to get people to repeat things or hold things and this, that, and the other, but I can do it in a time-efficient manner. Yeah. That's where charging by the hour, in terms of flat hourly rate, I'm actually undoing myself. Yeah. Yeah, because it takes me half the time. Yeah. Because I've got 2 cameras and I've got the knowledge to know what I want to shoot and edit and do that. So I think expertly sourced is
I really like that.
A really good way to go. And then simply presented is all you got to do is come in. Yeah. There's no onus. There's not this. You come and have a look around is kind of where I'm getting to. Now, don't get me wrong. Other people might look at that and go, I want to come up with something similar, worded differently. Absolutely. There is no one way to do it. But in terms of me what am I trying to hone in on? Expertly sourced. I'm just trying to capture the fact that you've gone and found it for them. And then you're bringing it to them. And essentially that's what they're paying for. Because otherwise it's just, here's a book for sale. And you're like, 50 quid?
Yeah, for that book. Why?
Yeah. And then you got a level of how rare is it, and this, that, the other.
But that's irrelevant. What we're saying here is, and going back to my question, how do you present? So somebody comes in and goes, okay, that's £50 for that rare book, and hopefully, even by this, your tagline, your strapline, you've already seeped into that person's brain. Expertly sourced. I like that.
Yeah, they start understanding what's going on.
Definitely.
So that would be I would always try and start there as a start point.
So you're basically saying your tagline.
How do we describe the company in a cup of tea language sentence? Yeah. And I'd say, although we're using expertly and sourced, it's still very cup of tea language.
It is. It instantly conjures up some images in your head. They go, okay, fine. Yeah. And again, probably back then, I didn't realise it when I came up with You Run Your Business, We Look After IT. But I was probably thinking, well, what do I do? Yeah.
But you didn't write, we do Office 365, we do emails, we do websites.
Because that's the bit that follows. That's the tools. They're the things that I do. What do I provide?
Yep.
I like it. Good.
So that kind of captures what it's about. Right. Okay. And if you, and then when you're going out and talking to people, just like I say with marketing media services, usually that is the right introduction to do it. But then we talk about we help you raise your profile.
Oh no,
Is
100%. I do get that. Yeah.
That in terms of our services, what do you do? Marketing media services. In terms of what we do, well, we raise your profile. Is what we do. So then I've had a go at the opening paragraph.
Oh.
Now, appreciate this is a work in progress. And
Yeah,
what I'd say with these things is, I've written a small paragraph here, and you can rewrite it, overanalyze it, and sometimes that is a real barrier to progress.
It is.
So what I'd also say is to anyone starting out is it's really important to just kind of do it, make a decision, go. It's the saying "done is better than perfect."
Yeah.
Is kind of true, because perfect is a movable.
Well, one of the things that I find interesting, and remember that when we first met, we both do websites.
Yeah.
In terms of our things, one of my, I want to use the word frustrations, is that when a customer wants to do their website, we do iteration 1. And then we go, right, we'll publish this live. Oh, no, it's not right, it's not right. And then, and you're nodding away, 6 months later, they still haven't gone live with the website because they're trying to get the exact, and I'm like, you've lost 6 months worth of online vision.
And to anyone wanting to do a web dev company, take a deposit up front for 50%. I've learned this. No, because I was waiting 6 months to get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So on that, that's why. That's
a really, really good point. It's better to get something out there and then you can tweak it. Get that finesse later. At the moment, though, we've got nothing out there. Whereas what you're saying, we've got something out there.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you're doing a sloppy job.
No, it doesn't
at all.
It doesn't.
That's the other side of it. So. Expertly sourced, simply presented. And I've gone down the approach of we love all things books. Yeah, because what I'm trying to do is this is the why element, the Simon Sinek bit, I suppose. Yeah. But I, if it's Andy or if it was a team, because you're on about having a team potentially last week, so we love all things. We love all things books. They take you on a journey, tell a story, or even educate the mind.
I like it.
Yeah,
again.
so like showing why we then like it.
Yeah.
Why we love them. We're obsessed with finding rare books. Yeah. And I did wonder, you could go like, it's a bit like a treasure hunt, and whether you could sort of lean into that, because it is like finding a hidden treasure.
Because everybody there are collectors out there, as we know, that want to have those rare edition books. And it is, you want to use the word thrill for them, but it's lovely that this is I am reading the very first edition of this story.
Yep. We're obsessed with finding rare books, and we want to share these prized pieces of literature with our customers. It comes from you love them, and you want to share that with other people, but you realise that it's actually really hard to find them.
Yeah.
And then I've got like little scribbles, like a bookshop full of rare finds could be another sort of strap that you have, strap line in there.
Yeah.
So in terms of you talking to somebody, or you standing up in front of a room, if you're talking about why you love books, if you're talking about what they can do or what they've done for you, and if you're talking about the fact that they're really hard to find, but you've got a bit of a system and you want to share that with people, that this is what you're doing. So the service really you're actually offering is a finder. You're a finder.
I am a finder. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So when you would be out and about talking to people, I would be in that channel of sort of conversation.
Okay,
in terms of you've got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There we go. That's your 30 seconds. Expertly sourced, simply presented. We love books. They take you on a journey, tell a story, and obviously educate the mind. We're obsessed with finding rare books. I've done it for years and I really love it and enjoy it. And when I found really rare books, it was really exciting. And actually, I know other people want to do that, but they don't know where to look. So I want to share it with the world.
It was better than mine. I just sell books.
Yeah, but that's how you do it, yeah?
Exactly right.
Yeah, because it then becomes so much more than just sell books.
Of course it is.
Which ultimately you are doing.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to fluff it up in any way, but we're actually trying to accurately represent what you're doing.
Yeah. Now, again, I'm going to pick up on a point that we always seem to cover in the podcasts when you will come to see me and vice versa. Not only have you told somebody simply what I do in terms of cup of tea language, you've then embellished my experience, my passion for doing So you're getting, I buy books, I sell books. Well, no. I expertly source them. I want to get out there. It's an adventure. I'm taking you on that journey.
And often
so again,
with the client, that's where we come in, because it'll go, well, I'm a bookshop.
yeah.
We sell rare books. We're a bookshop and we sell rare books.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the alternative.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas there, people start understanding a bit more what it's all about, and a bit of romance into the
Everybody
whole
loves
idea.
the embellishing. Have you seen the film Big Fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Not for a long time.
No, not for a long time. It's one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
But that is all about, well, you were born into this world. Yeah. Whereas the stars, Ewan McGregor, I think, and the gentleman can't remember his own name, he embellishes the story, because why wouldn't people like to listen to that story? It's much better than, I was just born that. Was it. Yeah.
But and it's also, I think, the thing with marketing, it's about trying to accurately reflect what you're doing. Because actually, it's very easy to sell yourself short.
I think it is, and a lot
it's
of
like me
people
going,
don't.
I just take photos, but what you're also getting is I get to know you, I get to know about your business, and then I get to lean in, find out things like, oh, well, you source these rare books. Well, you must have a load of knowledge there that people would ultimately be paying for.
Yes.
Whereas if you're just, again, saying, I sell a book, you're not capturing that. So it's about accurately representing as well what you're actually doing.
But I think also when you're very first starting up your business, everybody must have this. Or, again, question to you, very first day that I set up Resilient, very first day that I started doing things, and you always feel as like, I'm doing a job, but I'm all right. Whereas now 18 years on, sorry, need lost out there, sorry, Michelle. 18 years on, I have got pride in what I do, and I have got a little bit of, what would you call it? It's not cockiness, but it's
Confidence.
Confidence, thank you. That's a much better word. And that's what you're trying to say to these people who are very first setting up. So me now, Andy, as Rare Books, have the confidence. You wouldn't have done this otherwise. Have confidence in what you do. Project that confidence to the people, and they will get, wow, you're excited.
100%. And I think judgment, like worrying about people's judgment. I remember when I set up, I was being made redundant, and I worked with a great team, brilliant people. And I was moving, into the marketing world. And I'd applied for a few jobs and not got them, and this, that, and the other. And I'd always wanted to run my own business. It was just the safety net of having a salary.
Yeah.
And I got a bit brave. I read a particular book, actually, Business, Life and Happiness.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it, and I've still got it, and I've scribbled all over it. And when I was being made redundant, I was talking about it to my mum, actually. She gave me a notebook which said cunning plans and bright ideas, which I still have, and I still go into that notebook and update that notebook because it's where it all started. And it's just like, I'll undo it like once a year. I'll just go in and go, this has happened. So I'll be saying, I'll go in and say, now we've got Jess working with us this summer. She's come on board, and we've been doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And, we're in this office with the studio, I'll do that sort of thing. And then any sort of ideas that I think of development will also go in there. Yeah. It's a bit of a little long-term diary, but it doesn't have any particular schedule or plan. It's just when I'm thinking about it.
That's a really nice thing.
So I walked up to a business advisor with this book and went, this is what I want to do. And this was like a redundancy event, which was brilliant. And it was Mark from Tedco, who comes in here. Tedco, I'd highly recommend, by the way. He was very helpful. Anyway, he gave me the confidence to go for it. Yeah. So that night, I went on Company's House and set up my company.
Wow.
And I walked in at work the next day, and I went, someone went, what are you going to, have you got a job yet lined up or whatever? And I went, I'm actually a director of a company.
Wow. Dun, dun, dun.
Which was met with laughter.
What, you? Yeah. The director of a company?
Well, that's what I mean. And they weren't being mean at all.
No.
They weren't being mean at all. Because it was quite funny. I basically paid £13.
Yes,
I think
it is. Yeah, that's what I did.
To set up the limited company. And I walked in the next day going, right, I'm a company director.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is quite funny.
It is.
In that regard that I did that. But then equally people looking at you like, what, you're going to do that? You're like, yeah, I am. I don't, I can't afford all the camera gear at the moment. I still had to do a lot of learning on how to use cameras and editing and develop techniques and all of that. But I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
It would have been very easy if I was receptive to others going, well, you don't have the knowledge or the qualification, you don't have photography qualification. And I'm like, yes, but I have a passion and interest.
And that's what people ask me what I very first said about resilience. It's my passion for computers.
Yeah.
That takes me a long way. And we've said this before as well. If running a business was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
Literally everybody wouldn't have a job. They'd all be managing directors. But it's having that confidence. A lot of my friends, like, oh, God, yeah, I want to run my own business. Well, go on then. Well,
yeah,
salary, comfort, pension.
Being made redundant was a very easy answer for me.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
the choice had been made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now don't get me wrong, I could have job hunted. For the record, when I say not qualified in photography, I am a chartered marketer.
Yeah,
if
we
people
know
are wondering,
that.
and I've got all my marketing
Yeah.
qualifications. But again, I could go to college, I could do those things to learn that, but I've developed it another way. In fact, YouTube.
Yeah, we've spoken about that. Yeah,
yeah,
books, YouTube, learning.
So coming back to yourselves, I think to the rare book scenario.
Yeah,
if you say, right, I'm going to set up this, chances are people wouldn't have known that you're into rare book. They might have had a clue, or it might not mean anything. Like it'd be your niche.
Yes.
So like general friends and stuff, they'd be like, yeah, we know you like rare books. I've got a friend who actually likes collecting rare books. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember he found a first edition. We were like 18 in the market in town, and he was
beside
bouncing.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? And
Yeah.
it was like my first experience of that. So when we talked about this, I was like, it's a great example, and I always think of him in this example. And he was so excited about it and really happy, and he's still got it to this day, like absolutely delighted a first edition. So, I think, don't worry about judgment of others, just to come on to that. And like you say, with the being perfect, it's not ever going to...
No, it's never.
You can always find fault. The perfect is really kind of... Well, it's not fixed. It's not like, well done, do you complete business?
No, you never do. I'm learning to this day.
Yeah.
We are constantly figuring out things and changing, just like yourself.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the marketplace. Half my time when I am relaxing is spent looking, going, right, so, obviously being probably like yourself with photography, you've got certain videos, YouTube people you follow, they're much cleverer than I am in terms of honor, but they're almost like at the cutting edge. I would never be at the cutting, bleeding edge, but I'm looking ahead going, oh, that's interesting. Okay, might look in that more. Okay, fine, I'll keep my eye on that. But that's how I've evolved in terms of presenting. So, as we said, Microsoft Teams, the Calendly booking, those are all of the things that I just sit there on a night time, I'm like, must keep an eye on that. That's coming. Oh, Teams. So I was well into Teams well before Microsoft, because they were thinking Skype's evolving into Teams. I better start looking at this. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong.
But you've learned something.
I've learned.
Yeah, and that's the thing with, if let's say we put all this copy that I've written onto the website, and you then get talking to people, you then might go, hey, tell me what you think about this. Does this accurately? I've done it with people. Does this accurately tell you what I do?
Yeah, does it represent who you believe I am in terms of a person and a business?
And there's a lot to say for doing that, especially
goodness me.
like people that don't really know what you've done. And you go, do me a favor, look at this. Right, does that explain it? And it takes reflection. So that's how we talk about it. So then we're going to go, that's the words. Now we're going to talk about execution a little bit, okay?
Love it.
And we're not going to dive into social media. We've covered social media, okay?
Yeah.
So logos.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. Branding.
Oh.
Right, we touched on this,
We
and
did.
I said, when I say Virgin Trains, not Virgin Trains anymore, is it?
Just say Virgin.
When I say Virgin.
Red.
Right, and then I said, when I say Dairy Milk, you said...
Chocolate.
No, you said white. White milk chocolate. Purple was the answer, right? So we touched on that a few episodes ago. I can't remember which one. But brand colours, so we'd obviously want to go, right, could we look at, how do these old books look? Is there a colour scheme that we could kind of go that is vibrant and maybe sort of vintagey?
Yeah, because that's the instant word of rare books conjures up antiquity, rare. Yeah, so I like that. I like
Okay,
that.
so what font would you use then? So we've talked about that, and like, what in your head when you talked about that? What font? If I said pick a font that you're going to write,
Comic Sans. No, I'm
you're
just,
one of them.
I'm in
you're
one of them moods.
You're one of the, no. You're one of them Comic Sans.
No, I
printer
did
outerers.
never ever use Comic Sans ever. Ever. No, you'd be looking for something that's an elegant Gothic style text, you know, with the lines, the scripting,
Scripty, yeah.
because that's what. Whenever you see anything in that type of age, that's what you instantly conjure up in your head.
Yep.
You know, so that's definitely what I'd be going
So
for.
colours wise, I'm like thinking like a rich green with gold.
Yeah, good.
Green and gold.
Yeah.
With a scripty goldy font on
Definitely,
top of, and you
because
could have like a gold trim.
What I like about that is that, again, you know, working with yourself, Adam, when you look at the word rare, not only does it need to, rare. What does rare mean? It's in my head. Yeah. When you look at the word rare, you want it to show, rare, Gothic. Again, your mind is already, and we're talking about one word, but this is how important the font is
and then,
as well.
but then the font would, being scripty,
Yeah.
harps back to the calligraphy,
Correct.
the quill.
Yes,
You
see?
know, all of these sort of things. I know these books aren't written in quill.
No. But I'm getting where you're going with this, because this is how important it is when you are setting up your business to think about every aspect of your business. You want to see the words, you want to view the words, and that's what I'm saying. It's visual, rare. I could write it in Comic Sans, and what would you think? The word rare in Comic Sans.
I'd be thinking like rare meat.
But rare in a script.
like on a cafe menu or
Correct.
something.
But rare script. You're already conjuring those visions.
Yeah.
So I
like
love that.
Learning, literacy, you know, all that
Yeah,
sort
all
of
of those
stuff.
things.
Yeah. 100%. So, you know, I'd get a nice logo sorted with strong brand colours. We'd carry that through your
As I
website.
say, green and
Great.
gold scripting, love it.
Yeah, and imagine gold on a little business card. Just little.
there you go.
Now you can get those embossed business cards if you see it, where they only emboss certain bits.
Yeah.
So you'd emboss the gold, and it'd be like shiny and it'd be you know. I mean, I'm getting vibes of Harry Potter as well, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah,
here.
no, but again, that does conjure up those types of images when you are talking
but that's
about
how
those
that's how well they did Harry Potter in terms of all of that. So, and just think that was a story. Which, you know, in time, there will be rare books that are first editions.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, absolutely right.
You know, they will be collectibles. But not only did they do that, that is just a story with words.
Yes.
They then had to conjure here.
Hey.
They then had to conjure up all of this brand design on top of it. So at first it was just a book, and then they're like, right, we're going to do a movie. Now we're going to do merchandise. Now we're going to do
Now it's a worldwide phenomenon.
That started as a story.
Yeah.
And they've had to create a brand based on essentially a fictional. Could be real. I think there's. I want to. What? No. Maybe. Who knows? I keep trying to fly on a broom. Yeah. All those broken legs. So yeah, I think. But they've had to create a brand. You know, they did it really well. There's a really good example about mystique and magic and all of those sort of things. So, what would I then do after that? Well, I would do your business cards. You got all of that. QR codes, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, it's very easy to do, very easy to generate.
Yeah. So are you resetting me? No. So sorry, I thought Alina was resetting my camera as I was talking.
Would you like to reset me? Would you like to reset me? Would you? No, sorry.
So QR codes. Obviously, if you had a leaflet or a flyer or a poster, or you could have a QR code in the shop, for example, to say sign up to our mailing list.
Could you have a QR code to sign into your guest Wi-Fi?
You can.
Thank you.
This is a loaded question because you showed me how to do it for this office.
I did.
Yeah, which is great, by
It
the
is
way.
great.
Really good. People are like, whoa.
Yes,
do it.
exactly.
Yeah. It logs you in, puts your passard in, does all of it. It's
Doesn't
brilliant.
give away the password. It just logs
Doesn't
you
give
in.
away the password. No, you're right. Yeah. So, you know, I'd maybe have things up in because you've got a physical store, scan this, sign up to our newsletter and see what inventory we get.
QR codes, I believe, is a very underused thing. So, just very quickly touching on another subject. One of my customers is Daniel James. He's a singer. Used to be in the Yell Band, 80s and 70s Eurovision, 80s Eurovision. He's a good friend of mine now, and he's coming back. But he's now releasing new material. And what he's doing is when he's doing his publicity, he's literally saying to people, "Oh, right, yeah, here's a QR code, it instantly takes them to Spotify and starts playing his latest single.
That's great.
So that's a great idea. Have you got your phone there? Yeah, right. Zinc, there you go. It's instantly playing.
Everybody's got the phone.
Yeah.
And actually, there's, I've used it in the past where I'm like, scan this and save it for later and then have a look. Like,
Yes.
we'll talk now. You scan this. And, if you're conscious about, like, we've got business cards, for example, but I don't like doing lots of printed materials.
No, me
just from
neither.
an environmental perspective.
It's also something to do with the
cyan.
the
Yeah,
cyan.
the
I was
100%
thinking
cyan.
pink. Yeah, it's also something to do with
Yeah,
cyan.
yeah. Cost me a fortune.
HP were ringing you yesterday to say, why aren't you printing more things?
Yeah.
Our profits are
Yeah,
down.
the cyan. Yeah, the logo's got smaller and smaller and smaller. So the QR code thing, I've often gone, scan this, save it in a browser tab and have a look at this later, but
a good idea.
we'll talk for now. You could have it signed up to a MailChimp thing. You could have, here's one for you. Have you heard, I don't know whether I've talked to you about this, I might have. Have you heard of Linktree?
Of what, sorry?
Linktree.
No, this is the first time.
Is it?
I'll be honest,
Genuinely?
no, you've never mentioned
Right,
Linktree.
okay. So Linktree is essentially a tree of links. It's a good name, actually. So
Right, okay.
the idea is when you go to, say, Instagram,
Right.
and you've got your website in the bio, in the
Oh, yeah,
in the
I
link.
know what you mean, yeah.
What you can do with a Linktree account is you set, it's a website, you just Google Linktree, you set up your Linktree page and you coordinate it on the Linktree site or the Linktree app. And what you do is you can then put kind of like a landing page of links. It's like a landing page for links, basically. So I'm going to pull you this up now on mine,
Right.
so you've got the benefit of talking to me about it, so you understand. But if I go here, so it just says, like Linktree HubSpot Media. You click on the link there, and then what it does is, and I've got the premium version, is, oh look, our podcast, Take a Break, is at the top.
Very
so
good.
you can tap that, and it takes you straight to...
Hey, that's me.
That's
and
you. Episode 7 from Spotify. But that's all in the app. We haven't had to go into Spotify. We haven't had to leave. Do you want to watch my show reel in terms of the videos we've produced? That's a YouTube video.
Very
Playing
nice.
on the screen there. I haven't had to send them away to YouTube.
It's
just
contained within the
Yeah,
app.
so you want to watch it. Here it is now.
Yes.
Which, for a show reel, perfect.
perfect?
Yeah. Visit our website, obviously, takes you to our website. And then we've got contact us, direct inquiry. And at the bottom of all that, you've got all of your social media links, which you can add. Now, this is, like I say, this is customizable. So you can determine, so we've got X, Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube.
Very good.
So all in one place, and that's, if you're looking on my camera, there we go. And it's a really good way of doing it. So you could do a QR code to a Linktree account.
There you go.
I've just run a Facebook advert for a client to their Linktree landing thing with a book that's had a bookings link in.
Very good.
And it worked. It worked really well. And it gives you another sort of place just to cleanly present. And then what you can do is all you have to do is put your Linktree link into your Facebook, your Insta, your Twitter, X. Still calling it Twitter. I'm getting better. All your social media profiles. And then all you have to do is update the Linktree and it updates everything. Also, you get analytics
About what
people are clicking on,
That's
what
really
the click-through rate is,
Yeah.
what are the most popular links, and how long they'll be on your Linktree page for.
That's really positive.
Yeah. So
all this was bringing you back to your QR code.
yeah, and also I'd be putting that on the social media. So I'd probably go for a premium Linktree account, which does cost, I can't remember what it is. And you could brand it up, you could put some images of the shop in the background, and you could go sign up to our mailing list there.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple contact points,
Yeah.
So I'd have Linktree.
Got a question and we'll come back to that later.
Okay,
You've
that's
triggered me
cool.
something.
And then obviously if we've got people to sign up to newsletters and this, that, and the other, because what you've got to play for with your bookshop is people might not be in the mindset of buying a book. Let's say it's mid-month and they're waiting for payday.
Everybody's waiting for payday.
So when do you think, Andy, would be a good time to email everybody about your stock in particular?
Let me think. Mid-month?
No.
Ready? Oh, are we?
No. If you were to
I'm
commit,
toying.
I know you are. If you were to commit to one newsletter, say if you're like, I don't have time to do all the others, I'm just going to do one. I'd be saying doing it around payday.
Yeah, around pay because people have got that money, they've got things in. They also want to treat themselves. What can I know? I've been after that book.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, you know, I'd start looking at that and building that newsletter and following, but I wouldn't just be going by the book. Yeah, we've been there. It's all your content and everything else.
Yeah.
Tell them what you've been up to.
Yeah.
I would even go as far as going, look where I found this. Like, tell them the story of this particular book.
Now, that again links back, Adam, to what me and you were saying. Don't shy away from sharing your passion and knowledge. Yeah, we were saying, and my tagline the other week in the podcast, giving is the new selling. Don't be shy of this. For anybody out there that's looking at, let people know. You did it last week. You literally, the week before, you literally showed people how, why, and what you did. You're not giving away secrets. This information is freely out there. I'm not saying in terms of Andy's Rare Books, give out your contact names, you know, of who you go to and stuff like that. But tell the story. Again, you were speaking about the wording. I love it. Journey. This is how I found the book. I contacted my contact, you know, blah, blah, blah. I met him. We did this. We did that. We did that. That's how people want it. And I believe, if we're specifically talking about the Rare Bookshop, not only have I given you, the seller, the particular buyer, you know, this is how this book came into my hands. And suddenly, not only can you show off about this rare book, you went, my goodness me, this guy went to Germany for me, went to, you know, what I'm saying is you're adding that whole historical thing to the book.
Provenance.
Oh, my goodness me. Where did have you eaten a breakfast? A
breakfast. Have I eaten a dictionary? No, but I did photograph food yesterday. And
that's probably why.
Very provenance.
But can you see where I'm coming from? And again, if we're talking business, Adam, okay, again, you know, we're fictitiously saying, let's say that the rare book cost £150. You know, just putting it out there. I went to Germany. I did this. I did that. I did the other. Well, actually, in my own mind, I'm like, well, I travelled to Germany. Therefore, should I not claim back a little bit more on this book? Because, so £150. Yeah, but this book came from... wow. I want that book.
And your network. So the other side on that, what I'd say is I would then have, do you know, you're saying about contacts in terms of people and books and all this sort of stuff. I would then be going to them when you get, you know, here's my standard that I want.
Yes.
For rare books. This is what qualifies to be in my shop. Here's the quality control. So it needs to be first edition, second edition. Do you take second editions? I would still class it
as rare.
Yeah, but do you take second editions that are of a certain age? Do you take third? Basically, you know, you've got like qualifying criteria. And then you can like
another question.
Share that to people to say, if you get a book that meets this criteria, let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
Or put me on your mailing list. And then you scour their mailing list, like to source. Right, what's your question?
Right, yeah, because I'm after the time. So, two questions that have raised in my head. You were talking about profile. You were talking about getting yourself out there. So, I know we're not supposed to touch on the social media side, but in terms of websites, getting yourself out there, your image. When we were doing a lot of websites, people, I don't like my photograph. They would use stock images. You're shaking your head already.
Yeah, because that's what I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Stock images, and it took a lot, but I was with, Michelle and the team. I'm like, no, the people that go on the website want to see us, the people that they're dealing with. So first of all, what's your take on that in terms of use yourself or stock images?
Use yourself.
Yeah.
If you have to use stock images, don't get me wrong, we do use stock images.
Yeah. Yes.
But it needs to look like it's there.
Yeah.
So there are we all know it. Do you know the man in the suit reaching out to shake hands?
And the other one is the receptionist lady with the headphone. I probably could find about 30 websites with the exact same person.
And there's a place for it, clearly.
Yes, there is.
And there's no issue with that. But does that then represent you? No. So if, in your case, the Bear Bookshop, I would say, and let's pretend you weren't working with me, I'd get a professional photographer to come into your shop, spend money, and get them to go nuts.
Yes.
And then you've got all of the building bricks that you need, photographic building bricks you need to represent yourself.
I saw fire in your eyes there. An opportunity to photograph a rare bookshop.
I'd love it.
It must be an absolute dream of a place.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it?
I photographed 2 dishes yesterday being cooked. and over 100 odd photos, and they all look great. They all look great. And that's me saying it, and and I love it when I'm like these. I get excited about the images. When I see them,
exactly, I can see that.
Yeah, so Rare Bookshop. I'd be like, yes, please.
Exactly.
And
Okay.
I'd be like doing, but I've just done the library photos.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
Did they have any first editions?
They will do. They've got so much. Centre for Local Studies is one of my favourite rooms because it's all the historical stuff. So they've got old maps of Darlington. They've got unreal. So I've got some photographs of the maps. Like it says Darlington. I've used a blur, not blur effect. It's the way I've shot with the aperture. And it kind of fades, and you could just see sort of Darlington and the old roads to kind of give a hint of we've got maps and resources here. But yeah. Absolutely. I'd be saying, whether it was us or somebody else, just get someone in to do it and create these stock images, essentially, for your own stock. It doesn't have to be, it's when I see the ones that look like Coca-Cola advert.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's Coca-Cola's advert, not yours.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's those posed ones that looks like it could be in a Coca-Cola advert. I'm like, leave that to Coca-Cola. That's their look. That's what they've got.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, question number 2. I'm loving this, by the way. I'm loving this scenario of this rare book. I think we could use that next week. I've got a couple of ideas about what we could do for automation, which I know is something you've loved in terms of that. Question number 2. You sell rare books, and what you were saying about second edition triggered something. How would you explain? How would you guide somebody in terms of you're selling rare books? That's a good business. You're making money, but you do want to expand. Okay, repairing books.
Oh yeah.
Now, what should any businessman thinking about setting up? Do you always, like I do, and I know you do, Adam? I know you do, my friend. Where you start to think, that's another avenue. That's another service.
Yeah.
So come up with something in terms of what's your advice of always keeping your eye open and thinking, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that.
Yeah. And I think that this is where it's tricky.
Yeah.
Because the old adage is make sure you just focus on one thing and do one thing really well.
Yeah. Never oversell and underdeliver.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's within your, we can shoot photo and video.
Of course you can.
Yeah. We can also then deliver the social media side of it.
Yeah.
Because for us, personally, it's all linked. Yeah. And we've got the resource.
Is it LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn. So we've got the resource to do that.
Yeah.
But at times I'm like, well, should we be doing this and that and this and that? And with the services that we offer, I'm like, yes, we should.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with the rare book thing, if it's very specialist, what I'd say is one of two things. Either find someone else to partner with.
Yeah.
So that you can then, either white label or just openly work with them. I've got some incredible businesses that I work hand in hand with, one of which is sat right next to me now talking to me. That's you, sir.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I was looking at Alina.
So, but, you've had clients and you've gone, they need some photos. And yes. I've got in photograph. You've been doing the website. Absolutely. I've gone in, done the photos. There you go.
Now, the good news is what you just said there. At the end of the day, the customer gone, Andy, superb service. Thanks for introducing Adam.
Yeah.
And isn't that what it's all about?
And for the record, I never went in going, you should really work with me instead of Andy.
No.
Like that, it's in business. And I said this in our 7-year anniversary video. We are so fortunate to have some really good businesses that we personally work with.
Definitely.
You're one of those, and I know it's vice versa. But there are other photographers that I work with.
Yes.
Scott Akers, I mentioned him before.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned him. He's great.
If we're going for photo work, there's times where we could be competing for photo work. At the end of the day, only one company will get it. But I ended up doing Darlington 10K because he was double booked.
Yeah.
But he knows he's got me to call on.
Yes.
To work with, and he's got other people to call on as well.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Steve, who's fantastic, and there's Mick, other great guys that I've worked with. And it's really important to understand that just because you're in business, it's not cutthroat.
No.
There's room for everybody, and actually, you need to work together. So, coming back to repairing the rare books in this instance, I would either find someone that can do it if it's really specialist. If you had knowledge and you can do that, and you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, why don't you find someone you could employ someone that knows how to do it? That's one thing.
Yeah.
Or you could sort of outsource it or build a partnership or say, why don't you come in with us? Because the chances are they'll know people that are looking for rare books. And then guess what? Where they're looking for rare books next? Your bookshop.
No, so I think, again, if I can summarize on yours, it's always good to look ahead and think about diversity.
Yes.
Yeah. When you are thinking about that diversity, find somebody that you trust and you can work with. So specifically to give you, just a bit of example of what I did, in the early days, customer always complaining that their broadband was down. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't do broadband.
Yep.
So I just ended up talking to whoever the BT, whoever the Sky, whoever the,
Yeah.
And again, God bless them, I would go through the same as what you do in the home. Have you turned it on and off again? And I'd be like, listen, I work in IT. I've done all of that. Yeah, but I've got to ask these questions, and I'm sat there going, yes, I've done that. Yes, I've done that. To the next 5 questions, you're going to ask me about router, power off, DNS. Yes, I've done them. In the end, I got so annoyed because I was providing my customer with a bad service. Notice I said the word I was, or we were.
Yeah.
It wasn't me,
Yeah.
but the customer was getting frustrated. What I did is I went out to the marketplace and I went, who can I get to provide me broadband so I can then sell it on to my customer? Yes, I make a markup on it. But what the customer loves is that when they report a fault and then I report it to my supplier, they're going, you're ringing me because there's a fault, aren't you? And I'm going, yes. Because they know instantly you wouldn't be ringing me. You'd have done all the things that I would normally ask you to do. You're ringing me because there's a fault.
So there's a great partnership right there.
100%, Adam, is what I'm saying.
And I'd say out of everything, going to networking, there's nothing worse. I've been to networking events and it drives me mad when people hand me the business card before they've spoken to me.
Yeah.
You might think that's ridiculous. If you haven't done it, you might think it's ridiculous, but it can be very everyone, quite especially in my old days. I'm like I've always gone along with going, I just want to meet people.
Yeah, exactly.
My marketing plan for HubSpot is get people to know us.
Yeah.
So that's always what I'm doing. It's long tail. It's what we're looking at. But if you're there giving the business card before you've actually gone, are we even relevant?
Yeah.
to each other, and you don't know anything about them, it's a real gripe of mine.
No,
it's a gripe.
I do get it because you're supposed to be selling yourself. If I'm interested in what you do, I'll be going, that was a really interesting conversation.
Do you have any
do you have a
details?
business card?
Exactly.
Yeah, I do get that. I do get that.
You don't pay the bill at the restaurant before you've eaten the food.
No, you definitely don't.
Well, actually, sometimes you do, in fairness.
Yeah, but no, I get where you're coming from.
You get what I mean.
No.
I appreciate they don't want people climbing out the windows, but that's a bit different than making the food for you.
No. Well, listen, that was really, really interesting. I think if we could run with that whole, rare book, let's hopefully, if you don't mind, let's hopefully do next week where I'll help set up a couple of tasks within Teams, within Microsoft Flow, how I can help automate the QR code, how I can help automate a few things. I'll come up with a few ideas.
Oh, I like that.
It's like that. So, weekend?
DJing.
Wow, DJ man,
Tomorrow
DJ
night.
Adam.
Playing rugby tomorrow and then DJing tomorrow night. Rugby World Cup semi-finals, England versus South Africa tomorrow night. Good luck,
Okay,
England.
what's your tip if I had £5 to bet?
Nervous is I cannot.
I'm sorry, Paddy Power, and there are other things. Can I put £5 on nervous? But who's nervous?
Who's nervous? Yeah, he plays fullback. No, it's going to be a game.
It's going to be a game. So when is it?
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, 8
England
o'clock.
versus
Not when you're
South Africa.
DJing, is it?
It is.
Oh.
But I'm DJing at a rugby club. So
What are the
I think
chances?
it'll be all right, actually. Not my rugby club either. So I'm doing that. And then Sunday, I'm off down to London town.
Oh, Dan London town.
Yeah, London town.
Dan
Sorry, all Southern listeners, because we've got so many listeners.
Yeah, that was terrible.
going-
Sorry, are you going down
Oh,
to
yes, I
the
am.
London town, old bean?
That's how I did my library voiceover.
Did you?
Yeah. So, going down to London, got an interview for a contract.
I was about to say, are you giving Alina?
No, I'm not giving the job up for some work. So who knows? You've got to try, and I have no issue putting it out there and failing. So yes.
Well, good luck with that, my
interview
friend.
Monday morning down in London.
No,
But
actually, you won't be here.
do you know
Monday.
how much train costs on Monday morning?
No.
It's like 200 to 300
What?
pounds. Yes.
Because it's Monday morning, of course.
Because it's Monday morning. So I'm not going down Monday morning.
No, you're not. You're
I'm
going down
on
Sunday.
Sunday, and I've got a good friend to stay at. So,
Oh, well, that's really nice.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll be
good
good.
luck for that.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Good
so
luck for
I'm
that,
going to save the pennies in the accommodations.
Nah, but that's really good. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll keep your fingers crossed for Monday.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It is what it is. It is what it is.
You've got to be out there to get it.
You do, and I don't mind making that known to people that my interview might fall flat on its face, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
The thing is, you always get the interviews and all of that. Remember when you used to be at school and you had to have that test interview and stuff, and you're like, why are you asking me that? But it's amazing how much that comes back.
Yep.
And again, it's the confidence to then say, be who you are.
And not be afraid to fail.
No,
and that's why I've got no
absolutely.
issue saying that I've got an interview next week. If it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off.
Well, good luck with the job at
My
Morrison's.
intention is to do the best job I possibly can.
I'm sure you'll
in
do
the
a
interview.
fabulous
I'm really looking forward to it. It's a really exciting project, and we shall see. It is like a remote working sort of project with occasional travel down to London. It'd be great. Be fantastic. We've done a few national contracts, and this will be another one of those fantastic ones. That's actually a really good thing that can make a difference. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Keep
for that,
posted.
mate. Fingers crossed.
You this weekend, anniversary, obviously.
Anniversary on Sunday.
Anything nice happening?
Well, it's my father's birthday on the Thursday, 26th of November, 78.
Snap.
What?
My dad's birthday on the
No
26th.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. How old?
963.
963.
Actually, I asked my dad how old he is, and he's like, I don't know. I stopped
no
counting
idea.
after 30.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to sit and work it out.
78, my dad is. So what we're doing on Sunday is we're meeting up with family and we're all going to Bambuddha Chinese restaurant in Darlington. Never been there before. Would love to try it. My dad's. It's our anniversary, but as always, you're sort of like, okay, Dad, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, and he said, yeah, not been to a Chinese for a while. So as you do, you Google, not best restaurant, but good restaurants in Darlington. And Buddha came up, went, you know what? All you can eat Chinese. Shall we try it?
Let me know.
Will do. So yeah, hopefully Saturday a bit of an easy day. Got to getting all my Heritage Chart Radio stuff out of the way. So then Sunday is mine, and then on Monday, a day off.
A day off. Did you have a chat with the boss?
I did.
And did Michelle say yes?
Michelle demanded I have the day off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know this?
Brilliant.
The really sad thing is we've both got. I've got a meeting at 2:00 that I just couldn't get out of, and Michelle's like, "That's fine. I know you've got that one." And then she came back to me and she went, "Actually, we've both got a meeting at 5:00 that we can't get out of."
This is the other side of running a business.
This is the other side.
That should be not a whinge episode, but that should be a very real episode of what it actually means.
Well, I'll tell you what then.
What
Again,
it actually means to run a business.
So let's do the automation one next week.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the following week, we shall set ourselves both homeworks.
Yep.
And I want it to be jovial.
How do you manage it? What lessons have you learned?
What lesson do you learn? But jovial is just like, if you had to put your whinge hat on, I think I'll buy 2 flat caps for us with Whinger. Whinger 1 and Whinger 2. And it's just like, you never, and we'll just go through all the things that most people go, wow, didn't realise you had to do that.
Do we just need to get it off our chest?
We do, but it'll be
in a
fun.
nice way.
In a nice way for that. Oh, well, I'm really pleased with that. I hope yourself have a cracking weekend as well.
And you.
All right.
Another one done.
Another one
Episode
done.
8.
We said we'd only do 6.
I know. Well, did you notice I had to send the appointments through the other day again?
You did.
And I put them on infinity.
And beyond.
Well, all right, Buzz. So unfortunately, guys, you're stuck with more of us.
No, honestly, I'm loving this. I find it, what was the word you used?
Therapeutic.
Lethargic.
You want to go to sleep.
Nope, I used the wrong word. Let me rewind that. Nyet. I find it very energetic. And very therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry,
right.
Adam. Sorry.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend. See you later.